Hey you, I recommend listening to this with headphones, if only because some people don't want to know about a pilgrim's terrifying journey. Darling, are you here? I knew you'd come out tonight. I wish I could see you. Come on, get closer. Even if I can't see you anymore, I'd still like to be able to hear your wonderful voice. I'm sorry. I know I should be resting in the council room, but now that I've made my pilgrimage and I'm finally back, I have so much to tell you. There's so much you need to know. There's so much no one told us. I went to the outside world, and I found what will be my undoing, as we are told to do by the most ancient of our rites. And I think that when you go out and you must complete your pilgrimage, I may meet my end, and I may never get to see you again. Or perhaps it will be you who meets your end and does not complete it, and I cannot live without you. But in any manner, I do not think I have long to live. My sight is gone, although I am more holy than I once was, and I suppose that there must be good in that. There is no other reason I would ever give up my ability to stare directly into your beautiful eyes. I love you so much. I came to tell you about what I think it will be, about what I think will kill me, and what I think you should, what I think you must, for our sake, avoid when you're gone. I saw, while I was out, trees that were taller than the tallest of our houses, and bells that could bring in a whole flock of birds, yet, when rung, only scared them off. The outside world has so many strange things, too many mysteries for any one culture to ever understand, no matter how many people go out and seek their answers. What I saw that made my heart stop was a young woman covered in blood, and she smiled at me, and then I heard a click. It was cold. I didn't know sounds could be cold, but that was a cold sound. Just a click. And that woman's smile, it fell, and she turned around and she walked towards it, and I fell to the floor and I wept. I should never weep over another woman. I've got you, but I suppose that she is to be my undoing, and so this one time it is forgivable. Anything that takes me away from my culture and my lover deserves hatred from my soul, as bad as hatred, of course, is. I know I was supposed to return after I found my undoing, but I could not bring myself to, and so instead I tried to follow her. And I found a ship that sails not on the sea, but in the sky. It soars through our clouds and tears them to shreds. And It was called a strange name, which I had no translation for. So I followed that for a while. I could see the clouds bleeding during the night. Great red streaks were in the sky. I had to stay up much later because I knew if I did not follow it, I would lose it. And I saw the woman again after 3 days. Not covered in blood this time. Instead, she was covered in oil, and she was standing in the middle of a fire. And I didn't understand. But I knew that my blood ran cold, and I knew that it was not the fire that was screaming. And I knew that I had to get back to you. But there was so much smoke, and I got lost. And eventually, I felt something prick my finger, and then my vision faded, and it's not black, it is just, but it is not just as in kind and fair. That was what it was. It was its own thing. I am my own world. But I've got your hand holding mine, and I really don't know what I've lost, if that's the case. Because I'm here, and I can tell you, no matter what you do on your pilgrimage, do not follow the ship that tears up the sky. And when that young woman comes and looks at you, do not. I saw many other wonderful things. I tasted foods sweeter than we've ever had here, and foods that burned my tongue, but in a good way. And I saw water that was so clear you could see the bottom of the stream, instead of it running black with oil. I learned that there are plants that make your brain go insane, and I learned of houses that held only one family. And I learned of an ancient ritual of a different culture that seemed almost unanimous, called war. And I learned that war is why people die.